Check, checkity check. Let's get this bitch started. Well, here we are. Battle of the big boys. Two of the most expensive phones on the market. Both stack up pretty well against each other, but there's only one that would put a hole in my wallet. I mean, a place in my pocket. So let's talk about pricing first. A 64 gig iPhone XS Max will cost you $1,100, but a 128 gig Galaxy Note 9 will run you $1,000. So, okay, only $100 difference, but the Note 9 can take a micro SD card up to 512 gigs. And there's an S Pen, not that it gets a lot of use anyways, but there's also a headphones port and USB-C. Look, the Lightning port used to be cool when it was the only reversible connection port on smartphones, but now it's just a pain in the ass because everything else I own has USB-C. So when it comes to hardware, I think the Note 9 just offers better value for the money. Both phones have a dual speaker setup and they actually both sound really good and both get loud. Here's the funny bit though, the Note 9 gets louder, but the XS Max sounds better. It's not like a night and day difference, but the XS Max just has slightly deeper lows and better mids. Personally, I wouldn't practice my lip syncing with either of them, but when having a bit of me time in a bubble bath while listening to some Barbra Streisand, I did prefer the XS Max. The displays on both phones are balls to the wall awesome. Probably doesn't hurt that both are from the same manufacturer, so you're good to go with either. The XS Max has a 6.5-inch AMOLED display at 2688 by 1242, whereas on the Note 9 we've got 6.4 inches at 2960 by 1440. Colors are just a little bit more saturated and contrasty on the Note 9. Where I really noticed a big difference was with the resolution. Now, let's be clear, I don't have some sort of pixel peeping pole up my ass or anything, but like when reading articles on the XS Max or using apps, looking at pictures or just navigating around the phone, everything looks super sharp and clear. It's when watching video content that you'll notice a pretty big difference. Like I want to have the sharpness and clarity to see into people's skeleton closets, dude, and you're not going to get there in 1080p. Also, the XS Max has a notch and the Note 9 doesn't. Not that it bothers me or anything. Smartphone performance these days is so good it's almost pointless talking about, but after using both these devices quite a bit now, it's near impossible to tell the difference in real world use, but it seems like Apple's just squeaked ahead like a silent fart in the wind. Nobody cares. The iPhone's cameras have gotten a bit of a hardware and software bump with better low light performance, smart HDR, and now we can adjust the blur in portrait photos, but Samsung's phones have had that feature for a while now with live focus on the rear camera. The big difference for me between the two features is that on the iPhone, you can adjust the blur with photos from the front-facing camera too, whereas on the Note 9, you can't. But then on the Note 9, we have Pro Mode and dual aperture, which is pretty sweet. Now, when it comes to overall picture quality, the iPhone has better dynamic range with more detail in the shadows and does a better job preserving highlights, and I preferred how the colors look. I also found the iPhone does a better job with post-processing and edge detection for portrait shots. I think with the full control that Pro Mode on the Note 9 provides will yield better results, but that takes more time than like 99% of us are willing to invest for a quick snap. So battery life on both phones has been great for me. The XS Max is a 3174 mAh battery and the Note 9 has a 4000 mAh battery. So there's a pretty big gap between the two, but with my usage, I'm usually able to get at the very least a day and a half, oftentimes 2 days, but the XS Max actually came out ahead of the Note 9 for me, but only by like an hour or two. Part of that's due to Apple's magical optimization powers, and also partly because I like running the Note 9 at its maximum resolution. I like 1440p video. It looks pretty. So here's the deal. The XS Max is a great phone, like all new iPhones are. We've got awesome battery life, great cameras, great speakers, great display, and great performance. But the Note 9 has all of that and more at a lower price. And Apple didn't even give us a headphones adapter this time or a quick charger like we do with the Note 9. Like, hey Tim, do you want to pick the lube and razor blade studded dildo that you're gonna screw me with, or should I? I mean, I suppose I could if you're too busy counting your money. Anyways, I'd pick the Note 9 over the XS Max if you hadn't already guessed. That's just me. Drop me a comment and let me know which one you'd go for and why. And yes, I'll be hanging out in the comments for a bit to argue with everyone. But I think that does it for this one. If you're weird like me and enjoyed the video, do me a solid and hit that like button. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.